A parent's worst nightmare is one of their kids dying. A dad used his grief to help others who also find themselves in the midst of grief and share lessons he learned from his son. 7 News anchor Haley Wilson went to Cache and spoke with the dad to learn more about his late son and why he decided to write a book.
He was so special, and I don't want to feel like 13 years was all he had.
Chris Zerzavi says he didn't plan on writing a book. After his son died, he was struggling to sleep, so his wife encouraged him to start writing down his thoughts. He found it therapeutic and ended up taking some leave from work to write.
And I just wrote everything that was there, everything that was bothering me, the struggles, the memories of John.
The more he wrote, the more it started looking like a book.
As I read it back, I thought, man, this journey is not one that's just for me. I felt that John got robbed of his opportunity to share how special he was with the world. So as I was reading it, thinking that this might be a book, I thought, okay, as his dad, I want him to live on. I know how special and significant he was, and I want the world to know that.
Chris says John Zerzavi was a special kid who was considerate, compassionate, and mindful of others. He says his son loved wrestling, Jesus, and his family.
He wanted us to know that he loved us. There wasn't a day that went by that he didn't tell us that he loved us. It was pretty special, truly like no other.
He says John lived his life to the fullest every day up until he was killed in a car crash on his way home from an OU football game in September of 2022.
He had texted me that night, said that it was his best birthday yet, so he was having the time of his life.
Unfortunately, the impact from the crash caused John to be thrown from the vehicle he was riding in. Chris says they were building a home with friends when they learned of the crash and headed straight to the scene.
Didn't really know until we got there. There was a helicopter that was metaflighting one of the passengers out. It wasn't John, and so they directed us to where the crash site was. And when we got there, that's when the trooper on site told me that he didn't make it.
He says he went from what felt like a mountaintop to a valley very quickly.
Common theme in the book is that when life takes you to rock bottom, at some point you have to re-begin your climb, and I think that's what my journey has been, is everything that I thought that I knew that was important to me is not so important anymore after something like this happens.
Chris will share more about John and his journey with grief in a book signing on March 2nd at Dayspring Community Church around 12:30 until 3 in the afternoon. Reporting for 7 News, I'm Haley Wilson.